What's up, guys? Happy Thursday, 8:30. Today's the day. The real talk, as we do every day. King of the dipshits. Is your circle holding you back? Welcome, guys. Give me a quick shout out. Let me know you guys are here. Name, city, and state. Love to say what's up. What's up, Dylan? Ohio. What's up, buddy? Thank you guys for being here. We got a lot of people that should be joining here shortly. But as I'm sitting here hanging out, what's up, Phil? Beautiful day in Parkland, Florida. Got my first workout done, and I was up at 4 o'clock, man. I was wide awake, ready to roll. What's up, Dan? Delaware's in the house. Thank you, buddy. Good morning, John. Guys, we'll get started here in a second, but as you guys are coming on, if you would give me a quick shout out, name, city, and state. Good morning, Romello. Let me know where you guys are at. Thinking about you guys, we got some cool stuff to talk about today. If you have any questions on this, let's talk about it. What's up, Brad? Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Dave. I already did 75 hard, actually twice. What's up, Romello? It's just more of a thing now. It's more of a cadence thing. It feels good to wake up, get up, and do that. So it's a good reset if you guys are trying to do something like that. Good morning, Brad. What's up, buddy? So as I'm sitting here, today's a good topic. Good morning, Adam. Orlando, Florida. In the house. Got a lot of people here, so thank you guys for that. I appreciate you guys being here. Interesting, I woke up, I usually check my schedule in the morning of what my day looks like, and there's nothing on it except this. And it's not even on the schedule, it's just kind of a thing I do. I don't normally have that. I don't put a lot of stuff on my schedule, but I usually do have like 1 or 2 big things going on. It's exciting. We've got new people starting today in some of our companies, teams growing, revenues are growing at a massive level, which is awesome to see. New ventures are cranking up. I mean, we really got some cool stuff going on. And yet, I'm sitting back here in Parkland, Florida. When I say nothing to do, that doesn't mean I have nothing to do, clearly. But I'm just saying on my schedule, it's not like stacked up. I don't have 47 meetings and 13 calls and all this other stuff. So today's one of those days where I'm finishing up the audio book, as you guys know, Magician vs. Mule. Again, if you guys haven't got that book, Magician vs. Mule, yet, please do so. That book is selling like hotcakes. I have the audio version coming out here shortly. You can check it out over at magicianvsmule.com or just go straight to Amazon and get it. But if you're on the list at magicianvsmule.com, you'd want to be on the list because I'm actually going to be, I send some emails over there, talk about magician moments. One of my buddies just had an amazing magician moment he just shared with me today. So I'll be sharing that over there on that email list. So make sure to check it out, magicianvsmule.com. And thank you guys for all the great comments over there on Amazon in that section. I appreciate you. It means a lot to me, for real. It helps. It's exciting to see. It really is. So as I'm sitting here talking about kings of the dipshits, this is a real thing. This sounds a little comical, a little silly, but it really is a big deal. And we all talk about, you guys have all heard the conversation about your circle of influence. That's what this really is about, is your circle of influence. See, it's easy to be the king of the dipshits when everyone's making 50 grand a year and you're making 51 grand a year. It's easy to do that. My biggest fear with this king of the dipshit mentality is very real. And I'm being serious with you now, so please pay attention. But my biggest fear with this is you stop sharing your dreams, your goals, and your vision with your friends. It's my biggest fear. The truth is you have to, as you're a king of the dipshit, if you're sharing something so big, typically with your friends, your family, people care about you today, what happens is they'll actually squash it. They'll tell you it's impossible. They'll tell you there's no way in the world that can be done. Dude, you're 42 years old. Why? Your time's done past, man. You should have done that 20 years ago. Well, dude, 20 years ago, I said the same thing. You told me the same shit. You said I couldn't do it. I'm too young. Now you're telling me I'm too old. Like, when does it stop? Good morning, Tyler. What's up, Pat? So what happens is this king of the dipshit mentality is it suppresses you. It keeps you like, my buddy Tim always calls it the crab mentality, where people are always pulling you down to their level. They'll actually pull limbs off and kill you to keep you contained in the pot, right? You've seen this crabfish, they don't have a top on crab fishing. You don't need them because the other crabs will keep you in there. They'll pull on you. This is king of the dipshit mentality all over. It's interesting. When I'm hanging out back in the day, I hear people like, I'll be 42 this year in June, and I'm sitting here and hanging out with people, and they're talking about their high school winning touchdown or their high school winning shot, or do you remember this and that? It's cool to reminisce. The problem is 20-something years later, they're still talking about as if they're in that moment. And then they're still trying to one-up each other in memories. It's a king of the dipshit mentality. It like really holds you back from massive levels of success. And again, like, how could you share? Let's say if you're making 50 grand a year right now, and you're talking with your king of the dipshit buddies, and you're all hanging out at wherever you hang out at. Well, today's a little different than where you normally would. But let's say it's Applebee's. You're all hanging out because it's half off appetizers, right? And your dollar goes so much further. And you're sitting there hanging out, and you're like, dude, I'm serious, guys. I've been watching this crazy guy online. I think I'm going to start an e-com store. I'm going to do it. And I think I can make 20 grand a month. Easy, 20 grand a month once I get it going. And then what do they say to you? Do they encourage you, or do they discourage you? And listen, discouragement comes in many types of ways. It could be like, oh, yeah, dude, that's not for everybody. Or, oh, yeah, man, yeah, what do you know about e-com? That's discouragement, by the way. As opposed to like getting in a group. This is why masterminds and mentorships are so powerful. When you hear people talk about investing into masterminds and such, is because when you're in our group, and groups like that I know I belong to, and they could run $5,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars is what I've paid $100,000 for 3 meetings, or $5 grand, whatever. I mean, wherever your entry is today. But get in a room where people are sharing high-level opportunities, high-level value conversations. The truth is, when you're the king of the dipshit, you typically think you know it all. You think you have it figured out because everyone around you is beneath you, whatever that means, right? Maybe you're talking more financial. King of the dipshits typically think everything's about money only. Yeah, you have an extra $1,000 a week coming in, but you're working 20 extra hours a week than they are. So who's really winning the game? It's like, what game are we even playing? What are we trying to do? But who do you share your goals with? From my experience, I think I've told you guys, I talked about this story in the book when my grandmother was alive. I would stop. I did 3 deals. I made like 50 grand in a day. That's a lot of money where I come from. Still a lot of money today. And I literally, I went to her house. It was around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I went to her house and she went ballistic. She was so mad at me. Listen, my grandmother was my best friend. She loved me to death, but she was mad at me because she didn't understand. She's like, get out of my house. What are you? I'm like, I'm here to take you to lunch. I got flowers. Let's go to lunch. You can't do that. Your grandfather had multiple jobs. We raised 9 kids and blah, 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 blah. She was trying to protect me. Who'd you rip off today? Don't count your chickens before they hatch. This is not going to last. You know you have to go get a real job, right? And this is what happens. That's my grandmother. Someone knows me better than anybody. And that's what they say. And if I didn't have this dialed in, my brain, knowing that that was just her, and I compartmentalized what she was saying, I actually used it as fuel because I knew how she would react. It took me about 1.5 years, 2 years to even do it because I was so afraid that I wasn't strong enough to handle that conversation with her. So again, it's like I'm very conscious and cautious of who I'm sharing my big picture dreams with. I was at lunch a couple of days ago sitting with my buddy, and he's talking about selling a company for $500 million. I'm like, dude, your name starts with a B. You got to sell for $1 billion plus. He's like, well, in 5 years, but I'm like, dude, you know what can happen in 5 years? Shit, this thing could be worth multiple billions at the rate you're running. See, most people are like, dude, $500 million, you're rich. That's amazing. And I'm not saying it's not. But I'm also saying I know what you're capable of. And also, maybe I see the vision a little bit bigger than you do. Why? Because you're emotionally attached to the situation. I'm not. See, the problem is when king of the dipshits start talking to each other, it's typically people that know you the best, people that's been there when you were like snotty nose, picking your butt, farting in class, or doing stuff you shouldn't have been doing, like that white stuff you put up your nose in college, or smoking dope all day, being lazy. Not maybe because you were lazy, just because you had no direction in life or whatever, right? So what happens is that's where they're judging. That's where they're pulling from. Their mental attitude is pulling from the past when you're focusing on the future. So again, the crab mentality, we got to pull you down because I'm not comfortable when you pull out your credit card and you want to pay for a $100 meal. I'm not comfortable that I'm not able to do that. I'm not comfortable that you can go out and buy a new car and I can't. So what happens is you create a little bit of weird stuff going on in people's brains that are around you. And if you're the king of the dipshit running with them, the problem is you guys aren't running anywhere except away from each other, but you still you guys are connected. And that's a problem. And again, when you're developing and growing to the level where you want to go, you have to cast that vision so big with the right people and have them help you navigate it. You are going to have to minimize conversations with people that you care about greatly. I know it. I do it. And I still do it. And I'll do it for the rest of my life. It's not that I'm disrespectful or don't want to tell them. It's just they don't understand. I don't even understand how it's going to be possible. I know I'm capable of more, and I want to do more, and I can be more, and I can have more, I can get more, and I can help more. But if you're sharing that with someone else, and they're like, just be appreciative. By the way, that's negative talk. You know that, right? Who said I'm not appreciative? That says more about you than me. I'm appreciative. Actually, I'm respecting the higher power because I'm appreciative, and I know I'm capable of more, and I'm going to go get more. You're the one being disrespectful, if anything, for people to talk like that, right? Money's a good thing. You do good stuff with it, right? So you have to surround yourself around other people. What's great about going to masterminds and mentorships is you can borrow, as my boy Jonathan says, borrow my belief system. See, right now you might be in an environment where it's very small. It's not conducive. It's the king of the dipshit environment where everyone's talking about the same stuff, doing the same things, pissed off that they only got a 3% raise instead of a 5% raise. If those are the conversations you're having, you are in the king of the dipshit mentality arena. I promise you, this is going on everywhere. This is everywhere. And I'm not knocking, it's just a reality. If you want to grow, you can't maintain and hang out in there. It's a non-growing environment. It's meant to sustain and be like your top 5 people you hang out with, right? That's who you're going to be. So borrow mentors' beliefs. Borrow other people's belief systems inside of the group. So I have a small mastermind group called the TheDM family. Kyle recently posted yesterday about a cool thing he's working on, how he's traveling for 30 days to Lake Tahoe and he's doing this and that. And he didn't even know how he was going to do it in December, but he just set it up and, he started building the model. Well, dude, when you share that kind of stuff with the TheDM family or guys like us, one, I know it's doable because I did it for 7.5 years traveling around the world. 2, I'm excited for you because you don't have to figure it all out to make the decision. See, that's the problem is king of the dipshits have everything figured out, right? They have it all figured out clearly. That's why they can't pay their bills, but they got it figured out. But they got the new cell phones, so they obviously do have it figured out. And all this stuff. So when Kyle told us this, it's like, dude, like this is amazing. Like, how do we do it for 60 days, 90 days, 100? How are you virtual 100%? So what happens, you're casting a bigger vision. He's borrowing my belief because I've done it. He knows me, I've done it. If he can do it, why can't I? See, there's a hidden value in masterminds. When you see someone, you're like, you size them up, you're like, that guy is not smart, definitely not smarter than me. What's he got that I don't have? And then you start realizing that he just has a different cadence. He has a different action set. He has a different plan, and he's rolling with different people. Do you guys know how many dumb multimillionaire, billionaire guys I know? When I say dumb, I'm talking intellectually. You're never going to see these guys on Jeopardy, ever. That includes me. I don't care about book smarts. I care about getting things done. Again, king of the dipshits. Like, if you're hanging out and you want to talk about trivia all day, go do it. I'm not doing it. I don't know anybody super successful talking trivia stuff, hanging out at the bar, getting drunk, eating chicken wings, doing trivia, because it's Trivia Tuesday. That's what king of the dipshits do. You guys are better than that. You have children watching you do this shit. You have family that wants you to lead them. By the way, the people that will talk the most shit about this are the ones that will be the most, they'll be asking you for a job 5 years from now. They'll be asking you for help next week, next month, next year, because they're going to see you excel. They're going to see you start propelling up, and then their job, and again, they're not even doing this on purpose. This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. It's not something they sit around trying to figure out how to do. They're trying to reset the gauge. reset the thermostat. Get Mark back down here, man. He's getting a little too big for your britches, right? Be careful, Mark. You're getting too big for your britches, right? So that's negative talk, by the way. That is like, dude, like, by the way, we're all growing or shrinking. There's no like stale. You don't stay stale in life. You're always, something's moving. It's just in what direction. Is it conscious or unconscious? So this king of the dipshit thing is a real thing. It's funny, but it's a real thing. I like to use humor to make an impact. And my boy Nate Kennedy came up with this. He said this. Actually, I don't know if he came up with this. First guy I heard say it. And I like it because it resonates with me. I remember being a kid living in a trailer court, and we bought a big screen TV. My parents did. This is when Top Gun was out. So this had to be, well, I moved out of trailer court at 10 years old. So before 10, it was like 7 to 10 years old we were. And I remember the neighbor went out and bought a big screen TV in the trailer court. And again, I'm not that smart, but I looked at this, I'm like, we really don't have much money, any of us. Why are we competing to be king of the dipshits on a big screen TV? Why are we competing? Have you ever noticed like people that, again, of the king of the dipshit mentality, if you go out and get a dog and you pay $1,000 for it, for some reason, some dickhead down the street, your buddy that you call your friend, goes out and buys a $1,500 dog and it's a cooler breed and it's this and that, and they have to one-up you on the dipshit mentality scale. This is a real thing. They do it with cars. They do it with houses. They do it with clothing. They do it with, all kinds of stuff. Unfortunately, it's not stuff that really matters because no one cares about your dog. No one cares about your house. No one cares about your car except you. Why is it that you have to go out and get a new car when someone else does? Why? Because you want to be king of the dipshit. That's why. Answer the question honestly. You want to be the king of the dipshit or queen of the dipshits. That's why. There's no other reason. There's no other reason. Well, I need one. Okay, this one's worked fine for now. Like, why do you need one now? So it's always a measuring contest, right? So what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Is it serving you? Is it hurting you? Is it growing you? Is it shrinking you? What's it doing for you? King of the dipshit mentality is a real thing. And you got to get in mastermind groups. You got to invest in yourself. You got to constantly invest in knowledge. It's ever changing. It doesn't stop. And as you start developing and growing, what you realize is, again, I don't know. Pay attention. If you do me a huge favor this week, over the next 7 days, pay attention to what people say. Pay attention to what people are talking about around you. And if they're talking about gasoline prices and saving 12 cents over here and getting a 1% raise and how hard things are, like, dude, this is not the environment that's going to be conducive for growth. Everything you're talking about is shrinking, holding, preserving, protecting, scared, frustrated, overwhelmed, massive anxiety. And on the other side of the coin, my guys that we're talking, and I'm telling you this, I'm not saying this to be a dick, like we talk about growth constantly. We're growing, we're prodding. I'm not saying we don't have problems. It's just we don't put the attention to the problem. We focus on the solution. See, king of the dipshits just want to talk about what they've done, not with where they're going. Why? Because when you're king of the dipshit, if you actually toss it out there at a high enough level and you believe it and you fail, you can't even go hang out with your buddies anymore because you feel like a failure. That's why you're not sharing this stuff. You're secretly in your brain, you know for a fact that who you are, that you want more out of your life. And yet you can't share it because you're too afraid to fail. See, the truth is, if these are your boys or girls anyways, why aren't you sharing this shit? Because they'll pull you back, number one. And number two, because you are the king of the dipshit, you're afraid to step outside of the boundaries because it's uncharted territory. I get it, but what's it matter? You only got one shot at this thing called life. Do you think if you step out and say, hey, I'm gonna make $1 million this year and you only make 500 grand, your friends are like, dude, you're a loser. No, because once you get a taste of that side of success and momentum, you realize that you're capable of so much more. And then you start realizing you don't know dick. You don't know anything. And then you start investing in yourself more. And the more you invest in yourself, guess what? The more you earn, the more you make, the more confidence you have, the more impact you're creating, the more people you're hiring, the more revenue you're generating, and it just keeps expanding. That's what I'm saying. Once I realized as a mule and as a king of the dipshit, because I was the king of the dipshits of all dipshits, once you realize that that environment's not conducive to growth and you make a decision to go all in on you, game changes. There's no one, nothing or no one that can mess with you. You can't deter me. You can't penetrate me. Like my grandmother, she could not deter. She actually fueled me with her words. In her brain, she thought she was protecting me. Genuinely thought she was protecting me, saying that stuff. See, people only know what they know. That's why magicians are stepping outside the boundaries. They're stepping outside of, they're doing something different, bigger, uncharted. It's not, and by the way, when I say uncharted, it's not like no one's ever became a millionaire before you. It's not like no one's ever built a business and sold it for $1 billion before you. This shit's going on every day, all the time, around the world, right? Not just the US, around the world. So why not you? Why not me? And again, these are the conversations you need to be thinking about and having. These are the things you need to be aware of. So over the next 7 days, I want you to be very conscious of the conversations around you. Who you're sharing your goals with, who you're sharing your dreams with, who you're sharing your plan with. What kind of feedback are they giving when you share that information? What kind of words are they using to tell you this is a good idea, bad idea, or whatever, right? Hey, Dylan, this is spot on. Grateful I have one great friend who shares the same goals and dreams with me. Environment is key. Absolutely. Mike, good morning, buddy. Brandon, what's up, man? Hey, we totally did an episode on this bucket of crabs idea. I see this in families all the time. One spouse wants to grow, the other one pulls them down. It's not just spouses. It's all over, guys. It's all over. It's everywhere. It's your friends. It's your workers beside you. Okay, this is the true story. Well, okay, I'll tell you this. King of the dipshits. Good morning, Tiffany. What's up? Hope all's well, and congrats to Joshua. He's looking good. So tell him to quit photoshopping now. No, I'm sorry. So this Sunday I'll be on a yacht. And I'm not saying this to sound douchey, but it sounds douchey saying it. So it sounds douchey. It is what it is. I'll be on a yacht with a great friend of mine that I pay a lot of money to, a lot, mid 6 figures a year, up to 7 figures a year through a partnership thing we do. And not only that, we're bringing a couple guys that I work with. They're sales guys that work with us, and they make anywhere from $15,000 to $40,000 a month each. And when I go, like, number one, I want to. The king of the dipshit things is all levels. So I genuinely like to be a great leader. I want to. I think about it. I want to lead in the front lines. I'm going to get punched, kicked. I want to go back to the team and say, guys, listen, I just took this path. It's a little rough, but we can do it. You know what I mean? And I've been there, done that. So as I'm sitting on the yacht, this is a 100-plus footer yacht, cruising down through the thing this Sunday. And I promise you, if you're a fly on the wall, what we'll be talking about is, yo, guys, how do we get you making money on your money? You're generating great wealth right now. You need to be preserving it, growing it, developing it, tapping into it. What information do you need help with? Who do we need to hire? What does it look like? What are you willing to invest in yourself? Like, that's the conversation. 1,000% will be 100% of our conversations on this boat. I promise you. How are we growing? Where are we growing? What's the opportunities? Where's the angles? Who can we help? How can we serve? Hey, what charities are you guys working with? Like, everything is super growth oriented. By the way, they would get thrown overboard if they're on the boat and they're like, dude, 2 months ago was an amazing month. We don't live in the past, man. The past is the past. As sales, you're only good as today. I don't care what you did yesterday. I don't care what you did the week before. What'd you do today? What do you got on the books for tomorrow? And I shared this with some of you guys. If you follow me on Instagram, I hope you do, because I'm sharing this data. Every Wednesday, my team, all my team on the sell side, they send me a winning Wednesday report. Every Wednesday by 5 p.m., I get a winning Wednesday report. There's 2 things. One, I like to have that information, simple structure. What'd you sell this week? What's this month look like? What's next month look like? Very basic. And then under that, it'd say, hey, here's my challenges. Here's my opportunities. Cool. That's more for me. I don't have to reply or anything. I take the data and I'm paying attention to it. What I'm looking for is patterns. I'm looking for people to text me. Like when they message me, I'm looking for the patterns of are they complaining? Are they creating solutions? Are they creating problems? Are they being forward thinking? Are they talking about too much of the old stuff? And then the second side of this, what I'm looking at is it create for me as an owner, is an anxiety reliever. I like to see what my guys are up to. I love seeing them make more money. I want them to make more money. I want them to make more money. See, king of the dipshits typically don't want you making more money because you think it's taking money from you. See, in real sales companies, if the sales guy's making more money, guess what else makes more money? The company. That's how it works. The truth is, and I talk about this in the Magician vs. Mule book as well, oftentimes your first year to 5 years in business, if you have great sales guys, they might make more than you as the owner. Yeah, sounds crazy, right? But Mark, you don't understand. I'm taking all the risk. I'm doing all the work. Well, sort of. But you're building a big business, your vision. They're helping you build the vision by them doing their work. Get excited when you cut these checks. See, king of the dipshits, they hate cutting checks. They hate sending wires. They think it's all on their shoulders. They think they're the smart person in the room. If you're hanging out with people that are always the smartest person in the room, no one's growing. You don't have to take my word for it. Just pay attention. Listen, dude, pull up. It's like, this is a PG show, so I don't get too crazy. But like, at the end of the day, man, if you're hanging out with people like, yo, show me your bank statement. That's it. I mean, this needs to be going on more. There's a lot of people you guys follow on social media and online. I bet you they don't have a pot to piss in. They're fronting constantly. I know, because I know some of them. It's crazy to me. Like, show me your bank statement, dude. Show me your P&L. Are you making even – people out here teaching how to make millions of dollars that's never even made $100,000. That's kind of messed up, isn't it? How can they teach you how to make $1 million if they've never done it? A year, a month, a week, whatever they're selling you. So I'm not knocking it. It's just king of the dipshits get in these little groups. They think small, play small, and do small things. See, if you're rolling with guys like us and teams like us in the DM family or wherever group you belong to, they need to be pushing you. They need to be prodding you. They need to be challenging your thoughts. They need to be guiding you through the journey. They need to be sharing contacts to help you accomplish this stuff quicker. Just like when someone hits me up and says, Mark, I want to write a book. Cool, get with Mike. Well, blah, blah, blah. It's 10 G's, pay the fucker, and let's get the book done. Let's go. You just said you want a book. Let's get the book done, right? That's how we solve problems. We execute in massive action. Most of you are like, well, I could get it done for $7,200 probably. Cool, so go do it. I don't care. Just don't talk to me about it again, ever again. I don't care. See, the difference, king of the dipshits, they just want to talk and ponder. Oh, well, what about, dude, do you remember that time when blah, 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 blah? Man, do you remember that job? Oh, man, I should have bought that baseball card back in the day. It was worth 20 grand, now it's worth 100. Do you remember? Man, I should have bought Bitcoin when it was 12. I had someone come to me when it was 27 cents, and I was like, yeah, I should have done that. You should have done a lot of fucking things, let's be honest. And you didn't. Get over it and do something about it now. That's the difference. See, king of the dipshits are too busy talking. They're not enough doing. Less talking, more doing. So I'd love to talk to you guys if you have any questions. Just had to deal with the dipshit. Had to cut them loose. You're talking real shit today, bro. I was totally experiencing this in my company. Dwayne, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Guys, you understand, the more you grow, the more you do, the more. I'd rather, I swear on my life, sit in a room, no music, nothing, pen and paper for 30 days than to hang out with dipshits all day. I just don't do it. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I want growth. I want to push it. I want to prod it. I want to expand. I don't want to talk about the past unless it can give me the data to make a better future. That's the truth. Hey, Beacon, what guys or gals are coming on here? What kind of king of the dipshit moments you got going on over there? You're a younger guy. You see this every day, right? I know you won't get on camera, man, looking all fresh.
No, you know, I'm just chilling. I mean, honestly, in my age, you know, I'm 22. In my society, king of the dipshits is everywhere, at all levels. And the fact that it's at all levels, it even makes you think like, holy, like you want to compare too much. And so when it comes to like the king of the dipshits, it's a mentality, of course, but I wouldn't, how do I say it? There's nobody to compare to. There's nobody to focus like on. You got to be focused on yourself, focused on your own KPIs, where you're going, and then have the conversation with everybody. Now I can know where I'm at, which is nowhere compared to, let's say, Mark. But if I'm able to tell Mark, hey, Mark, I know where I'm at. This is where I am, and this is where I want to go. Now we can have a productive conversation. But if Mark's going to come to me, he knows where he's at. If he's going to come to me, be like, yo, Beacon, I have this $1 million problem. Like, you know, I always have this problem, but hey, like, I'm going to come to you, even though I know you don't know what to do about it, just to make you feel belittled and then walk away, you know? But what Mark's doing is he's not doing any good service to himself, because he knows that I'll be wasting his time and he'll be wasting my time. And then on top of that, you know, he's feeding the beast that isn't serving him, which is being conceited or trying to one up somebody, which doesn't matter in the whole grand scale of things. And so when you're on Facebook and you see people like you went to high school with and all these things, it's like you find yourself, oh yeah, I'm doing better than him. Oh man, I got to catch up. That dude's doing great. But it's like, instead of having the conversation with the people that you actually want to level up to, you're too busy feeling like a little turtle. And to get yourself out of your own shell, you're going off and trying to belittle somebody that's lower than you to bring them to a lower spot. But it doesn't really matter on the whole grand scale of things. So King of the Dipshit mentality is definitely a mentality. It's
no, for sure. I think you guys, the biggest thing here is we live in a voyeurism world. So King of the Dipshits could be anybody in the world. You might be comparing yourself, like Beacon's saying, or listening to them the way they talk or what they're talking about from afar. You might not even be engaging in the content, liking it or commenting on it. You might just be sitting there feeding your brain with this King of the Dipshit thought process. So guys, the biggest thing too is like, you understand, like, there's no way I'm worth $10,000 an hour if coming from my small town. Like, why would someone pay me $10,000 an hour? Dude, number one, I get paid way more than $10,000 an hour often. And not only that, I don't get paid per hour. I get paid on getting a job done. Doesn't matter if it takes a minute or a million minutes, it gets done. That's how you get paid as a real entrepreneur. So I think the thing is, everyone's so focused on this or that. That's how we grew up, right? Our thoughts on thoughts is, I get paid X to make X. Well, no, like, what's my exchange value? Dude, if you go out and sweep my floor in my garage, it's only worth so much, right? As opposed to if you come and build the house, share the vision, buy the lot, like, there's so much more you could do to bring different value, where you could make so much more money with the same exact property. So King of the Dipshits are from afar. You guys got to be careful. You got to pay attention to your conversations. You got to get in groups. Beacon, you're hanging out with me that one day, for 2 days when we went up to Tampa and all that for that event. Like, the conversations we're having, dude, at dinner, like, just my daily conversations on the phone, at dinner, all that are probably way different than most people are having, right?
Oh man, it's a mind-boggling conversation, and it's on all levels. You know, from you on your way to Tampa, your conversations are high level in the car. You could easily have taken that time to just catch up with friends, which really means waste time, not just yours, but theirs too. But no, you're keeping it high level, and then the conversation gets higher. It's like you're gaining momentum, a cadence. And then so once you did get to Tampa, you finished the day off. Now you're how would I say, taking a load off and eating dinner. But you're not just taking a load off eating dinner and watching Netflix or something. You're eating dinner at a table of other high-level entrepreneurs looking to have a high-level conversation, so that now you're taking advantage of that time to just constantly keep moving the ball forward. It's like it's a mentality. You're feeding the right mentality. So now you keep having the right conversations. But I feel like that's what's hard with people nowadays, is because they feel like they have a good conversation, they strike a nice deal, and then they feel like they should sit down, they should celebrate, and they should go and showboat in front of people who don't care and people who don't matter.
Yeah, no, it's so a couple things in there. Like, one, guys, when you find something that you're truly passionate about, There's never a day I'm trying to escape doing what I do. Every call, every meeting, every talk, every conversation, I talk about this stuff everywhere I go. It could be anybody that I come in contact with. This is the truth. I don't care if it's a server. I don't care if it's a CEO. We're talking about the same stuff every single time. Where are you at? Where do you want to go? What's the goals? What's the plan? What's it look like? Who are you working with? We're talking about this stuff 24/7. Why? It's my life. It's your life. Here's the thing is like, you're going to go home and celebrate. What does celebrating mean? Sitting down doing nothing? Like Beacon said something like call your friends and catch up. What are we catching up on? I'm calling my friends. It's called my CFO. It's called my sales guys. It's called my CEO. It's called my COO. Those are my friends. High school friends. See, the thing is deciphering this. Beacon, you're 20-something years old. When I was 18 years old, I was doing this stuff. This is what my life has been. You have to focus on people that can get you moving forward. I've never understood, and again, don't get me wrong. At one point in my life, I was hanging out with a lot of guys doing a lot of crazy bad stuff because I was looking. I'd never had that financial mentor, so my brain goes into gear. Like, hey, you made a lot of money, go get rid of it. Do stuff that you've been dreaming about, like you think you're a rock star, whatever. All this silly stuff we all go through, and before you know it, I just really realized like I have to have better conversations with better people, and the more I invest in my knowledge and environments, the more money I make. It's how it works, guys. Again, we talk about the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. This is the exact reason, and no one's really addressing this. This is real shit. And my goal in life is to genuinely help people become financially free. You don't have to be an entrepreneur, high-level, A-personality entrepreneur in your brain like me to be financially free. You just got to be setting up. You got to learn about financial literacy. You got to understand what it means, and you got to put it into motion. Beacon's 22. He could be worth millions of dollars when he's 52. Everyone watching this, you could all be setting yourself up, your kids up, and everybody else. Hold on a second. There's a huge bird out there, so I think you clap and they take off. It worked, whatever it was. But, this is the stuff that we're doing. I'm thinking about financial literacy, not just for me, but for my kids, my family, my nieces, everyone I care about greatly. My employees, my teammates, people we're working with all the time. Like I said, we'll be talking about this Sunday. Yo, man, you just made this much money. Here's what we need to do. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Are you scared? Are you not scared? If you're not scared, why? If you're scared, why? It's okay to be scared. I'm scared all the time. I'm making big commitments all the time. I'm overstepping where I should be all the time. And then I step over and I'm like, that's not bad. Now I need to grow. Well, that's not bad. Now I need to grow. Most people do a deal or step over the line and you're like, oh man, I'm celebrating now. I did it. There's a moment to do that, but don't let that make that your new norm. And then your new norm, it's just a stair step. You got to stair step it up. So a lot of powerful stuff here with the King of the Dipshit conversation we're having. I hope you guys are very aware. And again, please, for the next 7 days, just pay attention. I think you'll be very amazed by how crazy and how amazed, just the way people talk. It's absolutely stunning to me. It's amazing. So any questions? What's up, Joseph? What's up, Dylan? What's up, guys? Any questions or comments on King of the Dipshits? I'm excited about this topic. It's a big topic. This is mindset as well, obviously. Protect your brain, guys. If you're not protecting it, people are stealing it with stupid talk. They're protecting it by you watching their videos online or not. Value is what you bring every day. I appreciate that, Mike. King of the Dipshits. We don't want to be the king of the dipshit. Thank you, Joseph. As you guys know, you always hear people say, I want to be the dumbest guy in the room or the dumbest person in the room. Putting that into context doesn't mean you're dumb. It just means that you might not know everything. It's kind of a reality check that you don't know much, because it's like being strong. Someone's always stronger. It's like being better looking. Someone's always better look. It's everything. Someone's always better. So once you in your brain realize I'm really nobody and it's really not that much, but I'm always excited to learn. I want to grow. I want to expand. I want to push. I want to prod. I want to drive. I want to develop and all this stuff. And you say, hey, I really don't know the answer to that. Can you tell me? The world opens up to you on a whole different level. The people are out here fronting, the king of the dipshits. They're out there fronting like they know it all, they have it all, and they can do anything they want. And secretly inside, they know they can't. They're scared. When I see people talk the way they do, I know what that means. They're very insecure at the highest level. This is what they do. They get in a small group. I talked about this yesterday, where it's like a grown man going to play pee-wee football. That's what you do to your brain. You're doing that. That's what my brain image. That's the image of the brain. A grown-ass man playing pee-wee football against 6-year-old kids. Of course you'll be king of the dipshit. Of course you'll dominate. Of course you could throw all over them. Of course you can run all over them. You put yourself in the environment to be that person. You're better than that. Go step in the field with AA football, or I don't even know what I'm talking about. College football, NFL football. Changes the game, changes the thought process, changes how you work out, how you think. You could be overweight, not in shape, and still dominate in a pee-wee football game at a 47-year-old man. It's just what you could do, right? So it's like you're doing this to yourself in your environments. When you're hanging out with your buddies at Applebee's getting blasted every week because it's happy hour and you're talking about nothing. Pay attention. And I'm not saying not to go out and have fun and all this stuff, guys. It's just, why can't you go out and have fun with people that are talking about growth and building and developing and learning and all that stuff, It's just, it just doesn't stop. It's something that it should actually fuel you. It should get you excited. I was talking with my boy, my financial advisor yesterday, and we were talking like, dude, I have no clue what's going on. And I'm like, man, that's why I pay you. Guide me. Give me some confidence. Give me some guidance. I'm not that smart. And he's like, well, you're pretty smart. I'm like, dude, I don't believe my own headlines. I'm not smart. I know that I don't know anything. That's what I'm smart. I know I'm smart because I hired you. I know I'm smart because I don't know anything. Like, this is the game you play, and like really realize. Hey, thank you. Ignoring the dipshit's noise is valuable. How would you best promote a fresh wholesale assignment to minimize showings and create a sense of urgency to sell to an end buyer? I don't know. I'm not in the details of that. There's a lot of ways to do it. You're asking how, like, I have no clue. So, I mean, you tell them the best way to do it is pre-qualify in the front end. That's the easiest way. But you said something different. Fresh wholesale to an end buyer. Are you trying to sell to a wholesale buyer or end buyer? Because these are two different things now. End buyers by activity are way different than a wholesale buyer. You can sell via wholesale sight unseen. End buyers are definitely going through the house with, with their inspectors and everybody else. So you might be looking for a unicorn on that one. Joseph, what did you do to get where you're at? What steps? I took a lot of steps, my man. But again, read the books, Magician vs. Mule, read the 10-Minute Business Owner. I talk about this. By the way, it's not just steps, dude. Sometimes I'm getting punched in the face. Sometimes I'm getting clobbered in the head with a hammer. I mean, it's not about that. First of all, it's not about me. It's about you. And I genuinely think a lot of people are so worried about what others did or how they did it that they take the focus off of themselves. You guys all are capable of accomplishing amazing shit. Your skill sets, first of all, if I told you, it means nothing. Why? You and I may have way different aspirations and unique ability effects. I might be the guy that's very hardcore micromanaging, psycho, want to be $1 billion and, would rob from my parents to make that happen. And you might be the fun-loving guy that just wants to have a great life, hang out with your kids, create a great multi-million-dollar a year company passively with a little active activities, and just drive home another goal. So if you're following in my steps, you're fucked. You're fucked. You literally are stealing from yourself, your family, your future, your soul. It doesn't align in anything. And then you start getting frustrated because you can't keep up with me. You can't keep up because you don't know what I'm doing. Shit, the truth is I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just doing. And not only that, do you value investing in yourself? Yes or no? If yes, great. If no, you need to work on that. I'm all in. I'm all in on myself. I would invest every dollar I have every day to be investing in myself with the right people. It's what I do. I know the more money I invest in myself, the more money I make. The more money I invest in myself, the more friends I create that are going nowhere, So there's so many variables to this, and I think this is what's wrong with the world today is the comparison effect. Comparison is the thief of joy. It truly is. It will steal from your soul. It will steal from your goals. It will steal from your direction. You're always chasing the shiny object. It's real, guys. This is a real thing. You are the piece that you need to work on. You think someone's trying to, like, if I'm an artist creating this amazing sculpture, but I'm watching 3 other sculptors, my work's not going to be my work. It's going to be a piece of all their work with maybe a little bit of like how I see it. Why can't you just build the best you? You know what steps you've taken. Now the question is, where do you want to go? And then you got to create a different path, maybe even a different vehicle, right? Hey, thanks for making us aware of the king of the dipshits. Change the people around you to make better decisions. Listen, it's tough. It's tough because it's going to be family members, it's going to be best friends that you've had your whole life probably. So you need to minimize them. You're going to have trigger moments. You're going to have people that call you in your life. When they call you, you already know where it's going. So you need to be in control over that. You need to put it to voicemail, and you need to deal with it accordingly. Most of you guys, just your time is so loose. You just do whatever. So just be careful and conscious of that, guys. I think we have an amazing opportunity in this world right now. There's so much opportunity. It's crazy, and I want nothing but best for you guys. And I'm just trying to give you guys real talk, as I always do. This is the stuff I'm thinking about all day. And this dipshit thing, king of the dipshits, is a real problem. And if you can solve it, it's going to serve you very well. Cool. All right, guys. Thinking about you guys. If you need, well, let me talk about one more thing here. It's the kid things, because I have kids. And I remember being a kid. My parents were very, very hardcore about this. If your children were hanging out with a bunch of drug addicts in school, your parents keep encouraging you. They keep telling you, good job, Johnny. Hang out with the bad kids. You're doing a great job over there. Of course not. That's pretty stupid, right? Well, that's what we're doing as adults. The king of the dipshits. And I'm not saying you're hanging out with drug addicts. I'm just saying you're hanging out with people draining your desire. They're sucking your energy away from your growth. And why do you keep allowing yourself in that environment? You got to create conscious effort on this, and you got to take a real stance in it. If you want more out of life, you have to start making new decisions. You have to start thinking differently. You have to start building a better brain to drive you to the next level. If you could do it now, you would already be there. And if you're doing it, awesome. And if you are, you know what I'm talking about. It's even more real. You have to constantly keep focusing on this. If you're making $10 million a year, why aren't you making 100? Well, I don't want to make 100. Okay, well, why don't you? Well, I don't have time. Well, what if time wasn't the problem? Okay, now I want to make 100. Great. How do we take the time piece? How do we make the 100 piece? Maybe not. Like, these are the dynamics, the conversations we have. So we got to start digging deep. We got to stop doing surface level bullshit, king of the dipshit conversation stuff. Start digging deep and getting real with yourself first and foremost, and then start seeking the results to get what you want. The only person that can cap your dreams and goals and realities is the person looking back at you in the mirror. You. And you're better than that. And you know that. I know that. But I can't do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. Thinking about you guys. Hope you have an amazing day. Don't be the king of the dipshits. Bring this to the front light. Please share the video if it hits you. And go get your book at magicianversemule.com. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Stay focused. We got this. Peace.